What's happening? How you doing? Hope you guys can hear me well. Wistful Ignorance is in first, man. Happy birthday, sir. Happy birthday to you. Seeing that you got something new there. Appreciate the heads up text message and stuff like that, man. That was pretty dope. But today, we're gonna jump right into it, y'all. We're gonna jump right into it. Wistful, let me know. Doing a mic check, man. I'm sorry, I didn't bring my other mic. Hopefully, you guys are hearing me well. Let me know if you can hear me in there. If not, I'll have to switch over to something else. And welcome to the chat, man. So, of course, you already know, bro. When you go live, oh my gosh, I'm gonna blow your phone up. I am going to. Oh, dude, this raps. I'm calling from like multiple accounts. I'm gonna have family call you, right? We just gonna spam your whole. Oh, you better never go live, and I'm available. Oh, bro. I say, hey, yo, okay, I got you. All right, cool. Today, man, I really want to jump into this conversation with watches, man, and as far as how we collecting, what's the most popular, can a micro brand or independent become the new king of watches? And it's really going to coincide with the whole tariff situation. There's actually another YouTuber coming on an hour after me that's talking about tariffs and watches, like ways around that whole scenario, right? But I just want to cover some stuff, man, because I've been looking. I actually have some stuff here that I've been writing down and just paying attention to over the course of this, like the past 2 weeks, right? Right now, if you are subscribed to any YouTube or you just viewing it for whatever reason, this week and last week has been like the recap of Watches and Wonders. So we've seen a lot of Tudor talk, IWC. I saw very little. What was it? I saw IWC. A nod to Vacheron, unobtainable watch because I think there's only one made or something like that. Crazy technology, man. Like what they did, how many components this watch. But Watches and Wonders has been the talk, and I imagine that that's going to be the trending topic for the next week or so, and then we'll be on to the next. So I'm trying to think. One of the largest micro brand independent shows is coming up in July. Well, actually, no. San Francisco, which is May 2nd. May 2nd. Yup. Welcome in, everybody. Oh, hey, what's up, Ripsalt? Let's do this. Let's do a wristwatch check real quick. I know I'm wearing all red, but yeah, I had to break up the monotony with that bad boy. I'm testing it out, and I'll have like my experience or review, if you will, next week. So far, so good, man. Now, I tell you this, if nothing else, I really like the leather on this thing. Man. Leather is phenomenal. Then we're gonna talk. Y'all know I brought watches with me. I got a bunch of watches, man. Potential icons in their own right. But I'm gonna be asking you guys some questions. So if you watch this on replay, I would love for you to put down in the comment section what you think once I ask the question or the few questions I have. And then we're gonna talk briefly about Invicta. I actually have some pieces here, a couple pieces. But you know what? Let's talk about that first because I'm going to get this out the way. I did a live the other day talking about Invicta timepieces, and a number of you guys chimed in. You left me messages, both Instagram, well, actually Facebook as well, and right here. And Invicta is still being shown on the Europe page, right? They do have promotions on YouTube, like, and I know I'm going to get it in my algorithm because my channel was started on Invicta watches. But as far as Shop HQ is concerned, yeah, that was done. So Kendi, Ryan, Justin, and there's a number of people that confirmed it on Facebook that it's a wrap. They gave like beautiful messages about like how the community was awesome and all this stuff. It was it's bittersweet. It's bittersweet. But as you guys know, over time, I started realizing that the leader or the head of Invicta did not adhere to the crowd or the fan base like other companies, right? And I say that because y'all know I've been messing with Invicta for a long time, but like these micro brands, right? And even some of the larger brands, the representatives for Hamilton, right? I got an invite to come out there and record, look, and film and as much as I wanted to do, right? And the only people that could control that over there in Invicta land was the CEO. And I know that's something that he didn't want to do. And I remember a commercial, he stated, and I can't say it word for word. I can't remember exactly, word for word, but I do remember him saying that he didn't care about what the industry was doing. He was just more concerned about the customers, the fan base, the fans. And that was mouth and lip service. It did not reflect what I saw. So I kind of backed off. But moving on to like with that, because honestly, love or hate, Invicta is an iconic brand. If like as far as like affordability, but now we have stuff like what is it, AliExpress, right? And we know, and I've told you guys that was it Montrez Prestige was a company that or a name that Invicta used, a new brand, if you will, and they were charging like $4 to $6. I think it was like the highest watch I saw was $699. And when I saw that this was the exact same watch that you can get from AliExpress for under $100, I was like, yo, that's not servicing the customer, man. Like, are you serious? You got a huge fan base that's following. Can we get something better than that? I'm gonna give you an example. Now I get, and we're gonna tie this into like Rolex, right? So one of the things, of course, brand recognition. Everybody knows Rolex. Everybody, and I understand. Like right now, and forever, Rolex is going to be the main topic right here. I'm gonna tell you what I did prior to me coming on live. I'm gonna get in the chat here in a second. Prior to me coming on live, I typed in what watch should I buy in 2025. And it literally, the first watch that popped up was actually was a sponsored video, right? Now I have a couple accounts. I did this from 3 accounts just to see, right? And I'm on somebody else's Wi-Fi. I just want to see what would happen. And all 3 accounts, the first one was a Jack Mason sponsorship, which I was like, okay, that's dope. The second, the next 15 videos that I saw were all either digital or your smartwatches off top. And then the next watch that was shown was a number of Rolexes. And then Omega. So that to me right there shows that like people recognize Rolex, whether you're going to buy a Rolex or not, like whether you agree with their marketing, agree with the long wait times, none of that matters. That thing has a crown for a reason. And that's amazing that that company has a crown, right? But tying into watches that either mimic those designs, and I believe Rolex is one of the most copied, but I have here, you guys have seen this before. This right here is a Doxa homage, and it is decent at best. It is a decent watch. It is so decent to the point where I am considering buying a third, or a second. I don't have a third. I'm considering buying another one because Doxa, I just dropped that short. Both of those Doxas are over $5,000. One is literally, what was it? I think $7,200. I can't remember which model. I have to go back and look. But I'm like, okay, I could work and save up, make some investments and whatever the case is to try to get that watch, or I can enjoy it right now and get either a Pagani design or whoever. Like just the watch, go to Watch Dives. Do I have it? I got something linked in here. Go to Watch Dives and you can go in there. Hold on, let me get it to the chat real quick. Watching James is in here. Yes, sir. Blissful Ignorance. Chris, what's going on, man? Of course, House of X is in the building, man. Appreciate you guys for being here. Ripsaw Joe, thank you for being here. I feel bad. Got all the employees who were blindsided. What's going on? I feel like, was my phone cockeyed? Yeah, it is. Apologies for hey, yo, Jack Mason wearing the new Sandy Lumda. Tariffs didn't stop me before, ain't gonna stop me now. Hey, DK, that goes without saying. We're gonna get into that. Let's get into that real quick. I just want to make sure I catch up on the comments. So with all the issues coming out about designer bags not being worth what they paid, so you think it's coming to the watch industry? Chris, that's been the thing. I'm gonna pick on the Victor a little bit because I actually have an Invicta piece that's not running right now. But you guys remember this? I couldn't wait to get this because, as y'all know, I'm not gonna say I'm a chronograph fan, but I'm a fan of Daytona, the Rolex Daytona. I like the Daytona. That's one of my favorite designs. And Victor did a good job with like homaging this piece. This is a thick boy. That's a thick boy. Look at that, man. Ooh, thick. Didn't matter. Still wears well. This actually is some no-name Chinese movement in it. Don't know what it is, but this thing works well. Great time and amplitude. Everything is a plus. But when you break down the Victor and you look at is how much. For example, I just told you about the Montrez Prestige, right? They were charging $699 for that, and people bought that watch. People bought that watch $700 for a watch that you can buy from AliExpress. Put your own logo on it for like it was $80, $80, man, $80, $699. I'm like, yo, that is deplorable. But when you come down to Invicta used to do some stuff. I'm gonna show you something. Check this out. First off, what y'all think about that stitching on it? What y'all think about that?
It's probably the best you movie I've seen in a long time.
That bracelet.
That's a good day to watch a movie.
That's an Invicta.
But yeah, I was there.
This is an older one, man. And you know what's funny is this only goes up to 2013. Good. Still a nice historical timepiece right here, but this has an Ebosh movement in it. Look at that in the back. Invicta was doing something. This is back in the day. Invicta was doing something special. So they went from caring about quality, caring about the movements, giving you what micro brands are doing now. So Invicta was ahead of their time. So now you see micro brands come out with their renditions of iconic watches or replacement or alternative timepieces. Let me get in the chat real quick. Hello, guys. Wearing my Zodiac. Ooh, hey, I ain't even bringing my Zodiac with me today. Don't buy things because of what someone says they're worth. Buy things because you can afford it. You enjoy it. But okay, DK. All right, that's true. That's true. But what about, okay, since you're saying that, bro, how many people tune in to YouTube or watch? I'm going to take a page out of Wrist Unwound. Wrist Unwound did a video, very comprehensive video on like sort of like his journey to watch collecting, right? And he literally alluded to one thing. He was talking about, hey, I love Hodinkee, but like when he talked about the Air Sharon and Kevin Hart, like their watches are up here, right? And we know brand ambassadorship is like it's major. That's a part of the marketing thing. And people that follow Kevin Hart, right? Let's use Kevin Hart for example. I heard Kevin Hart, and I got it on video somewhere, but Kevin Hart he talked about how important his watch collection is, and it just talks about how valuable his time is. The same thing with what's the guy that always talk about Lakers in 5, Shannon Sharp. They both go on record as saying that their watches, the price you know what I'm saying, the prestige, the heritage of this watch, and the price, like, because this watch costs so much money, that's letting you know that their time is valuable, and it has nothing to do with enthusiasm. It has nothing to do with fun or enjoying the watch. It has nothing to do with practicality. For example, I am a manager at my job, right? I help, I train, I talk, we have meetings, I stock shelves. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm a part of a chain that, like, I'm in retail. Stuff comes in, we look at it, scan, do cycle counts, the whole nine, right? So I'm constantly moving. Customer service is like, that's what I do, right? Do I need to be wearing, like, I personally don't want to wear an expensive watch at my job. But then also, I'm not there with, like, the expensive watches anyway. That's not my wheelhouse, right? That's not what I like. Now I love to learn about expensive watches. I mean, the movements, the history, all that stuff. That's cool. That's like super dope. But, like, my everyday, no, I can't do it. Let's see. Nice. What's up? Luciano's in the building. Michael's are smashing it lately. What model was that? Which one? Are you talking about this or this? What was this? This one is the Object the Art. It's an older one. Object the Art. Of course, this was like the Daytona homage. But then this is one that I rock. Pure Mechanical. This is actually my first Hamilton. First Hamilton that I got. And I remember when I first got this thing, I was like, yo, I sat and stared at it. I said, I can't believe I own it, man, because it just took me back to, you know, like my old commander and a few of my commanders and leaders that wore Hamilton. Let's see. Wearing my Aragon Titanium, Watchman 54. Yes, hit that like. Bro, if those people want to be sheep, let them be sheep. Ain't nobody forcing them to follow anyone. Such free information that's available. These people can make informed decisions if they want. Hey, so DK, let me ask you this. What does the average watch collector look like? Who is the average watch collector? And before you go ahead and answer. It doesn't matter to me per se. It doesn't matter to me because, you know, with what I see on YouTube, I like the information. I get to learn about new stuff. I don't agree with a lot of stuff that's said, and I don't agree or don't too much care for the approach, because if you rate the YouTube videos that are doing reviews, and I want to say true to, I put on there YouTube review, right? My review of YouTube, a lot of it is investment based. Buy the watch that is going to retain its value. In a watch? In a watch. And you know what's crazy is there's been questions about, like, people, we've had fun with, you know, YouTube saying, like, if there was a zombie apocalypse, what watch would you do? Now, there was two ways this question was asked. It's like, you can't have, on one example is, you can't have a digital watch. It has to be either mechanical or automatic, right? And the other one was digital, was allowed. Everything was, you know, allowed. And it's funny that, you know, nobody really. No, I think there was one person said, I'll have my Rolex Explorer or Tudor Ranger, and it wasn't DK. I know it wasn't you that said it, but I remember somebody saying that, and I'm like, yeah. I think for the most part, I agree with you as far as, like, people being sheeple, so to speak. But you do realize that there's people on YouTube that will tune in to hear these people, right? They're heroes, the heroes of YouTube. Like, what's your boy Nico just got blasted by somebody else, man, talking about that new watch he got, that collab, because it's a Seagull movement that you can get from what, you know, AliExpress, in an AliExpress brand for under $150, I think it was, right? I mean, what for the most part, none of this stuff is worth what, you know what I'm saying? Like it should be something fun that you like. That should be the thing, but is that really? Meat says Yvonne Shop HQ, what a time to be a collector. Value paid was clutch. Hey bro, listen, I don't regret none of that stuff, man. But yeah, wearing my Hamilton today, I don't regret nothing, man. I remember us being in the chats talking and laughing with each other, man, talking about each other. You know, like it was cool, and we didn't even like we got off the topic of watches during those chats. And man, dude, they had something good. You know what I'm saying? Like that dude let it slip through his fingers. Easy. I mean, all you have to do is just please your customers. You said it. That man went on record saying that he was there for the customer, and obviously wasn't because now, if you go to Shop HQ right now Shop HQ is still up and running. It is strictly e-commerce. There's no more videos or anything like that. If you go over there to get Invicta, there's 10 items over there, and most of them are pre-owned, and one is like a bag. The other one is like, it may be like 5 or 6 watches over there that's not worth anything. And then we talk about JTV. I didn't watch the JTV version or the other day, but I heard that there were watches that retailed in Invicta that retail for $26,000. Now, Rich Park is the man that he is the founder of Minutes and Hours. Rich Park put out a video maybe 5 years ago, and that's how me and him got to know each other, because he made a comment about over $20,000 Invicta. That video's still up, and I commented. We went back and forth, and now it's true, Rich. They said that an Invicta retails for $26,000. I didn't see it myself, but I'm getting this back from an Invicta collector, and I said, wait a minute. Hold up. So JTV, you mean to tell me that you said that this watch, that I made the watch he was talking about, I may even have one of these, retail for $26,000. Do you understand that information is vital, and people are, your grandmother is online looking stuff up. There's not an Invicta on this planet. I don't care if it was made in 1905. Like $26,000? Are you serious? Especially for the one that they said that was $26,000? Ain't no way. Stop the cap. And then you sold it for $1,400 because you put source diamonds. Let me inform people on this one. For those that don't know, I worked in the jewelry business at one point. You know what I'm saying? I worked with K Jewelers, and I had to learn about jewelry and diamonds. Those diamonds that's put in there are source diamonds. They're not worth anything, man. I mean, dude, like I can buy those diamonds for like $8 or something. Like you buy a bag of them and just if you know how to set. That's the hardest part about it, is setting diamonds in stainless steel is the hardest part about that watch. Will be the most expensive process of that watch. Getting a diamonds just because no, absolutely not. No. That is bullcrap, because now you're saying that watch is on par with an H Moser. You're saying that watch is on par with a Rolex. You're saying that watch is on par with some of the like large, like a Tag Heuer, freaking chronograph. I mean, not chronograph. Tourbillon. Are you serious right now? Stop it. This is why, they like Invicta got the name that it got. You know what I'm saying? Now, don't get me wrong. If you enjoy Invicta, I still have mine. Enjoy it. But their marketing practices, trash. That's a dangerous question, Trap. You're gonna get me in trouble. No, I'm not. You are trouble, bro. What are you talking about? You live for trouble, son. You live for trouble. If you can't avoid to lose money on a watch, you shouldn't have bought it in the first place. I feel that, bro. Oh man, the way you lose value is buying like a very expensive watch. But you should, I mean, even if you buy a very expensive watch, man, I'm gonna show you something. A watch that I consider to be one of the best of my collection, and that's the Tsao. That 1938, the heritage version, I like this, and they don't even make this anymore. They're done. That's like it's finito. It's finished. But I still say that it's a phenomenal watch. It's one of the best out there. That's my opinion. That may not be for you because you like loom. That watch has no loom on it whatsoever. It's chronometer certified, or if you like one of the oldest branded, well, the oldest branded company out there is Longines. Longines does not retain value. But did I get it to retain value? I got it. I actually bought that to get entry into the brand because I like Longines as a company and I like that watch. There's a few things that I don't like about it, but for the most part, I would buy another Longines. Right? All right, let me get down. OMG, Christopher. Yup. Wow. It's a lot of brands that are gone. Yeah. Who got the OG Yellow and Victor cologne? I still got it, bro. I still got it. I'm more emphasizing people who are constantly thinking about market value for a luxury good. I don't view watches as investments, especially right now. Which like so let's talk because we're on the topic of most iconic watch brands. I'm gonna throw some names out to you, but like right now, and I again after my show, who is it? Watches with Dennis. We'll be talking about that. I'm gonna tune in to see what he's talking about. Because I think his title was like either avoiding tariff watches or something like that. Because there's companies that's already went up. Christopher Ward has went up in price, and I don't know how much. Swatch Group is said to. I was looking at if you read Hodinki's thing. I think they dropped it 2 days ago or 3 days ago now. Hodinki is said to or said mentioned that Swatch Group, and there's a lot of speculation that, or a few speculations that Tissot is going to be one of them. Hamilton, which would you still buy though? Would you still buy? Like, would you still mess with the brand? I mean, because that newest Tissot, what was it? The PRX. And I know how some people on YouTube are done with the PRX, the what do they call that? The integrated bracelet style. And I'm like, well, you might as well get used to it because Rolex just dropped their land dweller, so that's just going to make an extension. I want to see how many other people are going to follow suit behind that. I don't know. I really don't care, honestly, though. Don't make no difference because I have the watches that I have. That's Fugazi. Agree with you, Trap. There is no way Invicta watch is worth. Nah, ain't no. Love that to so. Yeah, anything makes the watch retain values materials made of. Talking about real value, not horological talking. Yeah, and then let's keep it 100, man. The king of watches, man. Rolex does an amazing job on retaining value, retaining the interests of the watch world. They're on top, right? And as much as I watched one, what was that? What was that? They just released like an ice blue Daytona, black accented and stuff like that. And some hate it, some like it. More of the prominent voices on YouTube talk like this is trash. You know what I'm saying? And really don't matter though. It really don't matter. It's really what you want. But like again, Rolex know that they're going to be talked about, period. And people are going to go after that if they can get it. Point blank, period. Did someone say hit that lighter? Have a good day. Watching James. All right, bro. Catch you. Have to drop out. Okay. Let's see. I'll make sure I'm up on chat. Who got the? Oh, okay, I read that. A lot of brands that are gone. All right, so let me throw some names out there to you. Let me throw some names out there for those that know these companies. Let me know if you think these watches can become, or are they iconic right now? And I'm going to start with no particular order, but Formex, right? Those that know about Formex, do you think this is an iconic brand, or will it be an iconic brand moving forward? Would that be a go-to? Would that thing be talked about like Rolex? Would it be approached like some of the bigger brands? And I think, like when we're talking iconic, of course, Vacheron is gonna always be iconic. Um, Brigade is gonna always be iconic. Omega, Cartier, like of course the Rolex. All of these brands are going to be AP Tech, even Richard Mille. How do you pronounce it? You know what I'm saying? Everybody pronounces it different. Again, Laurier. Do you think Laurier will be an iconic brand or something going forward that people would gravitate towards? Baltic watches, Christopher Ward. Now, I don't personally have a Christopher Ward in my collection. I do want one. I actually want a couple of them. I think just because of their design language, I like it. And I mentioned that I love the way the Bell Contour looks. I wouldn't buy it if I had to scratch for it because I know I wouldn't wear it. It'll be just something to come out, play, just to hit a little ding, ding, and then I'm putting it back in the box. I'm not gonna fool with it as much. Formex looks dope. Not sure about horological history though. Okay, what about Trasker? I'm gonna tell you something I like about Trasker. I like the designs of Trasker. However, that watch it's like it has the hardness coating on it that's going to last, right? And that watch is going to look a certain way. It's going to look good for years. It's going to like resist the scratches and stuff like that. It still can get scratched up, but like that watch can be passed down. What about Yema? I see that Yema is actually going to be one of the brands May 2nd. They're going to be one of the brands out there in California. Let's see, Okanaska, right outside Chicago. Well, inside Chicago. I said right outside. In Chicago. I don't think the YouTube community can loosen the grips from Tudor, Rolex, and usual suspects to recognize a brand like Laurier or Formex. I believe, you know what, I can agree with that. So, I actually went out of YouTube to do the same, throwing those questions out there. What should be my first watch? And, like, what's the most popular watch? I went to most popular micro brand, right? It just depends on what source is talking, man. Like, there were, Inordain was considered one of the top 10 on one of the outlets I went to. And Trasker was another one. That's why I put it in. Monta was another brand that is considered to be because that's actually compared to Rolex, right? They like I've heard on multiple platforms that Monta is the Rolex style of micro brands. It's the Rolex of micro brands. Whether you guys agree with that or not, their dive watches is what hitting at the $2,400 mark.
For the record.
Berndardt, yep. Yo, what up, Johnny? Wow. I didn't see you. What you say? I'm not turning my Bulls cap upside down. You know what that means. Get your mind out the gut. It ain't nowhere near 9 o'clock in the evening. Shameful, Vic. Egregious, but that should be for people that know about watches. But for regular people, do you think they will care about the technology of that watch? So that's a question I have for the masses. I want to point out, and I just brought one. I didn't bring all my islanders out. I just brought one out. So this islander right here, I consider this to be a really nice timepiece. I love what he did. He used that avenue of modern Seikos, and then he has his own flair and has a very unique approach to watches. A businessman, and I don't know. I think it's more of how he approaches the whole space. He's using Miyota movements. He's using NH movements. I mean, I don't know if has he used Salida movements? I don't know if he's used Salida movements in his watch. I know about the Miyotas. Now, I could be wrong. He may have some Swiss movements in his watch. But how does that look moving forward? Because I saw a few channels that normally talks about high-end watches double down and start talking about more affordable timepieces. Like I saw Midu. Certina. Man, I can't even tell you the last time I saw a Certina watch review or a constant mention of these brands in Swatch, going to the lesser brands. I'm gonna tell you, for example, there's no channels really talking about Aragon. Even though I'm telling you, every time I go live, there's somebody in the chat that has an Aragon on. I'm rocking an Aragon, whatever. There's always somebody, like one or two of you guys. Average person doesn't care about this watch, but then I say high horology. I was alluding Protect, Vacheron, because they even have dress watches. I have a question. What do you guys think about Vizionico? I just bought, and I know you can't wear the packaging, but I just think like the box itself speaks volumes, like to this brand. And I know there's people on YouTube that absolutely hate Vizionico. There are a couple of videos out there, but like that comes with the territory. There's a number of people that absolutely despise certain brands. They think it's a money grab. Shoot, like all these companies money grab though. But I think for me, I can't say this for you guys. For me, it's gonna come down to one, wearability, the cost of watches. That's the biggest thing too. I do want to. There's a couple of things I'm going to cover before we get out of here too. Like we're going to at the hour because I don't want to miss this episode coming up. Yeah, YouTube is a lot of hype. YouTube is a lot of hype. Let me set this right here. YouTube has a lot of hype, and I respect, the platform. I dig the platform. Y'all know, just as much as I go live, I do watch a lot of videos. I watch a lot of content creators doing their thing. I do, and I can appreciate, what they put out. That again, I'm not gonna say I agree with everything that they do, but I still think for the most part they do a phenomenal job of at least getting information out there. If nothing else, they can, what I'm saying. Oh, I do want to cover this. The average person who knows Rolex, they do. Because I do a lot of, I travel back and forth and detach myself from YouTube, and I talk to people out here on the street. I talk to different stores. I talk to different vendors, and like talking to their client base and even the distributors or the ADs, if you will. I ask like certain questions about what do you see most? What do people gravitate to? When people come in, what are they wearing for the most part? And like I went in Macy's, and I'll tell you, this is just based off my own research. They recognize Casio, Citizen, Boulevard. Those three, and of course Invicta, right? There's a lot of their fan base and customer base have these watches on. The rest of them, are wearing digital pieces. They're smartwatches. I mean, let's not forget that their smartwatches crushing everybody. As far as market share, you can't even compare. There's no even if you triple teamed, smartwatches, man, they still outsell Rolex and anybody else for that matter. So they put out way more units, right? And I heard a number this morning that, Rolex was putting out 1 million watches per year. Now it's close to 2 million, if not 2 million watches per year. I don't know the actual numbers, and I don't care to do the research to find out. I'm trying to be funny, just it's cool. And I think for the most part, Rolex is, as far as the topic is concerned, Rolex is actually, it's worth hearing and talking about discussion-wise, comparisons and stuff like that. So in a lot of cases, I think that's like comparing apples to oranges, but, it is what it is. Millions of watches per year is insane. Well, Chris, I'm going to tell you this. In I want to say it was 2023. Yeah, I believe it was 2023. Thanks for that wrist shot. I just got a wrist shot. There was a Lynn Shocker. She was on a show, Shop HQ, and she said that there was over 14 million Invicta sold, right? Worldwide, over 14 million Invicta sold. And that's not all through Shop HQ. They're getting, I'm sure they're getting those numbers from, the Invicta stores and other things, other outlets and stuff like that. But like, keep that in mind. 14 million 14 million Invicta timepieces sold on the consumer base. And then we, like the enthusiasts, the people that was talking about Invicta all up, man, they just make up a small percentage of that. If Rolex considered the market, not everyone is wealthy. They be putting over 10 million. That's a fact. That's a fact. Back in the day, they said 1,000 would be delivered every hour worldwide. Yeah, I remember that, bro. I remember that. But you know what? Like, let's look at the consumer base. What's on average? I'll show you a watch that I consider one of. This is just my opinion. I think it's one of the best watches. I showed this watch the other day, but this watch, what I wore day before yesterday. I wore this watch actually 2 days in a row. This is my glycine and brass. Nice timepiece, right? Or maybe you don't like it. I think it's great. 60 click bezel, pretty solid. It has a 2824 base or it's a Lady 200 move because they switch back and forth. You would have to open the case back to find out what it is, but basically the same movement. Screw down crown, long lugs, was it 50 millimeters lugs, lug to lug. So it is like if you have a smaller wrist, it'll have some overhang. But for an everyday piece, for a watch that is just pick up and go, this is a really nice watch. It goes with my lifestyle. And I'm not worried about damaging this watch when I wear it. I do the same thing with my Aragons. I actually do that with my long jeans as well. Another watch that I alluded to is possibly being I know it's a fan favorite with people, and that is the Laurier. I tell you what, Laurier has a knockout lineup. From the chronographs to their 300s, GMTs, man, they have a knockout, and the price is where it's at, man. Skylar, we're gonna talk about this wrist check. Okay, thank you for the wrist check. I see that. Hold on, before I say that, I want to show you guys something. I purchased. Y'all know I went to my the AliExpress style, and I bought the Amazon, the Tandorio, which is a version of rendition of the Omega Seamaster 007 minus the helium escape valve. And I told you guys that, once I looked over this watch and I said, okay, it's cool. I gave it a C minus at best. Finishing is actually pretty nice on this watch. The look is great, but y'all see, I took that was a 5-link bracelet off, and I only paid what was it, $19 for this. And this thing, man, just gives it a different look. Oh man, it's beautiful, man. Wears pretty nice. NH35, only 5 bar. Only 5 bar, but it's okay. You know what I'm saying? It can take the rain because it's raining right now. But yeah, I would say with that, this would be the most purchased watch. Not this one, but AliExpress. But you do know that there's a possibility that some of these AliExpress brands are not going to deliver to the US because people are not going to spend that extra money because they go to AliExpress for a bargain, a deal. Love them, pretty accurate. Yep, mesh is fire. Yeah, bro. I have 3 Magnum Tourbillons. As far as Hamas are concerned, our brands patenting their designs. Now I don't know about other brands. I know Rolex. Man, Rolex, they got theirs. Man, you get too close, man, it's over with for you. Invicta caught that lawsuit before. I think it was 2008. That their Pro Diver was like 1-for-1 copy, man, and Rolex was like, nope, lawsuit, bow, slapped him dead across the face. So yeah, there's there's a gray area, I guess. I mean, but like they're doing it, but the thing about it is like, is it going to matter? That was the question I want to get to before I get into this, because I got to bring up Skylar. But is it gonna matter? And this is just me asking, because for the watches that you guys like, for the brands that you chase after, regardless of what we've been talking about, you guys, I can showcase a ton of watches, right? And you can like some, you can hate them all, like whatever the case is. But if the money for the watch or the brand that you like the most goes above, like say it goes up $200, would you still buy that brand? I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, so for example, I like the PRX, and the most expensive PRX right now is that carbon, forged carbon piece. That watch is $995. But just imagine that watch goes to $1,250 with tariffs. Is it like, will I still get that? Because as a consumer, I'm still thinking, well, for $1,200, I'll be willing to buy certain watches at $1,200. But seeing where I am right now, I don't want to spend over $1,000, because a watch is the least of my worries, because we're just talking about tariffs and watches, that you still got life to live. There's things that you have to get, necessities, like when you take your car to the shop and your parts have gone up tremendously. You know what I'm saying? Think about that for a second. Now, a watch, all of us here on this channel right now got a watch, at least one watch. I think if you don't have a watch, you may just like watches and you just own one. But what you think you're gonna do, man, if tariffs get too tough and it's digging into your pocket? You still have to go get gas in your car, stuff that's being imported into America, man. Like, it is, the cost of living is going to, and it's not like your paycheck is gonna go up. It's not like your boss will be like, oh wait, tariffs went up, so we're going to increase your pay by 35%. That ain't gonna happen. That's not gonna happen. So you know what's gonna happen? Your watch collection is gonna be right where it is. Well, some of us, if you're like me, your watch collection will stay put until this thing blows over. Let me get into the chat and see what's going on. When is the next watch show we'll be attending? For me, I'm scheduled to go to Chicago Windup, which is July 11th. And then it hasn't been announced yet. Whiskey, Wheels, and Watches with Kokomo. I think it's in July as well. And I'm hoping that they don't do the same day as Windup. Oh, I hope they don't do the same day as Windup. Because I'm like, oh man, because I really enjoy going to the Whiskey Wheels, because the wheels portion, I love like watches and wheels, and then the whiskey. I haven't drank there yet, but I'm definitely looking at those cars. So yeah, those are the next ones. And then shoot, I am concerned. Like, that's one of my concerns though, to be honest, is because there's certain brands that I do want to see. Last year when I went, there's a couple of brands that I missed that I was looking at Windup, and I was looking, I said, wait a minute, that brand was there and I completely missed it. Like, how did I miss it? But if tariffs is at the point where it's going to cost them, because Mark from Long Island gave a breakdown of how much money it cost him to go to Windup. He's the only entity that I've seen do that. I don't know what it's going to cost these other people if they're going to still come. If it's going to be the same people, and that's the other thing too. Is of course I want to present to you guys some of the brands there, the offerings and stuff like that. But if there's not going to be that much attendance, and I'm not saying that they're not going to be there in attendance. However, if there's going to be slim pickings, man, I'm not going to make that drive.
Okay, so
Christopher, just like Mickey and Disney, design will become open source. Yep. Yeah, because I saw, if you go on Amazon, I said this before, Brew watches have already been homaged for like the past 2 years, I think. Maybe 2 or 3 years. I fell into a rabbit hole for a week where every channel was talking about Disney Lost, Steamboat Willie. Yeah, I looked at that too. All right. So I forgot to mention one that I think is this is just my personal thought. I think Nomadic is going to be one of the most talked about watches because like they're making so many strides. They expanding as far as Ireland's concerned. All those people over in the UK, man, is just killing it, man. Them, who is it? Christopher Ward. There's a third one. Just murdering the game, man. It's crazy. Maybe I have to watch my words on YouTube. Cause YouTube, whatever. Yeah, because I know YouTube can. I got dinged a couple times for stuff that I've said on here. I'm like, bro, like look at the context. YouTube, get that algorithm or whoever. Give me a human to look and review what I said and how I said it. Out of here. Oh, now the last thing I'm gonna say because it's 51 minutes. We got a couple minutes. Now, Skylar Santana did a live yesterday. If you missed it, he did a review of a watch company, right? And it is not Christopher Ward, but he talked about water resistancy and like I brought this watch out. I actually built this watch myself at Kokomo 2 years ago. Right? Has it been 2 years? I think yeah, it's been 2 years. And this has a push-pull crown on it, right? Push-pull crown. I put this watch in their Rolex test equipment because they got a lot of Rolex. All their equipment is Rolex based. The water resistance on this, as it stands, is 100 meters. But they went past the 100 meters. It went up to like 210 meters, right, of water resistance with a push-pull crown. So that's saying that everything else that they helped me build, I did a good job. And the water resistance held up. Now, this watch right here, and I chose like that Batman theme, and I got the shark secondhand. This is something I thought, I want to have on my watch. I wear this periodically just looking like, man, this is the first watch that I did myself. I think it's dope. Oh, man, what? Yo, that's crazy.
I can't do that.
Okay. So, what about watches? Good dollars or not? I don't have any experience with them. Well, this one, so this is a class that they have. I actually built this one. I built this one myself, and I chose the bracelet. I didn't want the traditional bracelet, so they allowed me to get that. They had this one, and once the watch was complete, we went through so many bracelets. They had a 3-link bracelet for me, and I was like, I don't want that because I got so many watches with the 3-link. So we went through, looking, and boom, landed on this one. Yep, landed on this one. So yeah. And lastly, I posted on my thumbnail for those that are here right now. I got issued a challenge. For those that know that I have done what we call battles, right? Collectors combat. And there's 2 people, sometimes 3. I never did a tag team yet. And seeing that this is, tonight starts WrestleMania, 41, which I will be watching. I got to be at work, so I'm gonna be streaming at work. So if my boss watching at 7 o'clock, I gotta watch the first match, Jey Uso versus Gunther. Don't play with me. Come on, boss. Look, I'm gonna be streaming. So for that match, just leave me alone. Anyway, I got challenged to a battle, and it's gonna be the first microgram battle ever. We still have the system of we're gonna have judges. You know what I'm saying? And then you, as the viewers, you guys will have a say in the matter too. You will be a judge as well, and we're going to go through and have a time. We're going to have a battle. But because that man, he pointed at me. Skylar he pointed his long finger, his long New York finger at me and poked me and challenged me. You know what I'm saying? So, young man, challenge accepted. Okay, and what is this going to consist of? We're going to tell the story of each watch that we have, micro brand or independent, and we're going to go at each other, man. Now, we boys in real life, man, but on that day, just know, young man, just know, you just woke up a sleeping giant. You feel me? I haven't battled in a long time. Vic was the last person I really battled. I think Vic was the last person to battle, and that was an epic battle. But, sir, because you challenged me to a battle, don't think that I'm going to go easy on you because we cool, because we're YouTube buddies, because we're buddies outside of this. You know what I'm saying? Because we're in the same group. None of that matters, sir. You challenge me, New York versus Chi-Town. You feel what I'm saying, bro? I hope you ready, man. You know what I'm saying? You better strap on your hat, bro. You better be wearing your bulletproof vest all day. All day. Metaphorically, of course. YouTube, don't be thinking I'm trying to gun at this man for real. You gotta be careful on YouTube, man. They sensitive. But trust me, sir, I definitely accept the challenge. I appreciate the challenge because, yeah, you got me. I'm excited about it. You know what I'm saying? And whoever else want it. That's all I'm going to tell you. Whoever else want it. If you want to mix and match, mix it. I don't care. Like, you can have Michael Brand versus Aragon, Independent, Invicta versus Rolex versus Vacheron. I don't care what it is. If you want to jump in a battle, we will have judges, but you better come with your A game. You better be able to tell that watch. Because I've had in the past, you can go back and look at my battle sections. I've had people that's like, they'll put their watches out and that's like, yeah, this is it. This is the dopeness. This is that. You know what I'm saying? What's happening? And I'm like, yeah, that's cool with certain watches. Certain watches can tell a story themselves because you own it. But you kind of take away from what the battle's about, man, because the battle is, man, you got to tell that story, man. And yeah, jump talking is approved, respectfully. So yeah, it is what it is. So whoever else want to get in there, already, hey, timepiece Tony, or when did you change your name? As soon as I get somebody that want to battle you, bro, yeah, you got it too. You know what I'm saying? You listen, I got you, bro. I got you. That's what I do. So hey, shout out to my man Skylar for issuing the challenge. So we're just pushing this thing forward, man, because I think that is one of the most beautiful things I've ever done on my channel, was created that. And the people that have participated, they are submitted in history as being some of the dopest collectors that I've met in person, in real life. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, trap don't hurt them. Iron sharpens iron. Let the battle of titans commence. Hey, you know what, Jay Jones? Hey, listen, think about this. You got two cats that's hyperactive, man. I'm hype, he's hype. He has watch knowledge, I got watch knowledge. Man, this is going to be a good battle, man. I'm coming for his neck. Man, guard your grill, bro, because I'm telling you. Ooh, man, I'm throwing haymakers, bro. I'm coming, bow, bow, bow. Yeah, and I seen, and the only thing he got me hype making, when he pointed at the screen, he came, go back and look at it. It's towards the end of the video. He was like this. I challenge you. I felt like Pokemon, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, yo, hey, yo. Yeah. So, Skylar, it's on and popping. All right, man, listen. I appreciate you guys for watching. That's my time. I'm about to get up out of this. Well, actually, I'm about to watching Dennis. So if you get a chance, go check that out. Let's see what he's talking about as far as tariff-based or avoiding tariff-based watches or whatever the case is. Go check that out if you got some time. For everybody else, man, you know what I'm saying? Have a good day. Hope you guys are blessed, prosperous. I hope you eat good today. I hope your watches are set to the right time and the date is correct. You know what I'm saying? And I hope that you enjoy the life that you was given today. You feel what I'm saying? All right, y'all. I'm out of here, man. Happy birthday again, bro. Wishful ignorance, man. Everybody, if you got his number, man, send him some birthday shouts or something like that. Send him some cake. Order him a cake. You know what I'm saying? Order him a little Debbie or something like that. Send it to him. All right, y'all, man. Y'all be blessed. I'm about this.